Hi, my name is Will Wright, and I'm going to be going over how to fill out the paper copy of the free and reduced meal application. The free and reduced application packet starts with the letters of the parents and frequently asked questions sheet. Our meal prices are listed in this section. If your student is an elementary student, the full price for breakfast is $1.25 and $3 for lunch. If your student is a secondary student, the full price for breakfast is $1.50 and $3.25 for lunch. If your household qualifies for reduced price meals, breakfast is free and lunch is 40 cents. This comes to approximately $70 per student for the school year. Households who qualify for free meals receive both breakfast and lunch for free. Who can get free and reduced price meals? All children in households receiving SNAP, TANF, FDPIR, foster children, students who meet the definition of homeless, runaway, or migrant, and children in households who meet income guidelines, which are based off of the size of the household and the gross income of the household, can receive free or reduced price meals. You do not need to fill out an application for each child. You only need to fill out one application. You may submit another one if your household changes over the school year, for example, if you have a change in custody, and that would add another student into your household. If you have received a notice saying that your student has already qualified for the school year of 2024 to 2025, then you do not need to fill out an application. This is usually for students that have been directly certified to have SNAP through our state student matching system. Households with students in our CEP schools, East, South, and Thorpe Gordon Elementaries, also do not need to fill out a free and reduced application, as those students receive free breakfast and free lunch. If you have students in one of these schools and students in a non-CEP school, you will want to include all children on that application to count towards your household size. If your student was approved for free or reduced price meals last school year, you do need to fill out a new application for this school year. Even if you filled out an application in May of 2024, we will need a new one to continue benefits. We cannot accept applications for the 2024 to 2025 school year until after July 1st. We do have a verification process. We select a sample of applications every school year. If you are selected for this, you will be notified by letter and by email. In order to maintain benefits, you will need to submit proof of income or proof of benefits. If you do not qualify now, you may resubmit an application anytime during the school year if your household size or income changes. Disagreements over your application decision can be directed to Dana Deerhoff, though if you have questions about why you qualified a certain way or why your application was denied, you can also contact me as well. I will verify the information on the application to ensure that it was processed accurately. If your income is not always the same, list the amount you normally receive. If you normally get overtime, include it. If you do not normally get overtime but work extra for a deadline at work, you do not need to include that overtime. If you have household members who do not receive an income, please fill the blank with a 0 so that we know that it was not missed. If you are military, your basic pay, cash bonuses, and any cash value allowances need to be included as income. If you receive housing as a part of the Military Housing Privatization Initiative, you do not need to include it as part of your income. If you do not have enough space on your application, list any additional household members on a second piece of paper. I strongly recommend using a second application and stapling it together, especially if the additional members have an income. This next section is a guide on how to fill out each step of the application. We are going to go ahead and skip down to the full application. In the step 1 section, You are going to list all children that live in the household. This includes infants and children not in our school district and students enrolled in our school district, including 12th grade. If you have students in another school district, you may need to fill out an application with that district as well in order to receive benefits at both school districts. For each student, please fill out the first and last name, including the middle initial can be extremely helpful for us during processing, as we do have students that have the same first and last names. Please include the school building and the grade of the student will be in during the school year. If the child is not a student, please note that with an NA or something that's going to let us know that the child is not enrolled in our school district this school year. If your student is a foster child, please check the foster child box. If this student is the only student on this application, you may skip down to step 4. If you have other students, continue filling out the application. The foster student will count towards your household members, but may end up with a different meal cost if the rest of the household qualifies for reduced or is denied. Adopted children are not considered foster children. A foster child is a minor who has been taken into state custody and has been placed with a state licensed adult who cares for the child in place of their parent or guardian. Now we can move on to step 2. This section is for if you receive SNAP, TANF, or FDPIR. If you do not participate in these programs, check No and move on to step 3. If you do participate in these programs, check Yes and write in the case number. This is not the EBT number. Once you are done with this section, you may move on to step 4 if you checked Yes. If you selected No in step 2, you will fill out step 3. In this step, you will list all adult household members and income for each members. Please include all adult members, even if they are not related to you or do not receive an income of their own. If they are not supported by your household's income or contribute to an income in your household, then they do not need to be listed. Do not list children that are already listed in step 1. The income reported must be your gross income. This is the amount you receive before taxes and deductions are taken out. Do not put your hourly rate. We cannot process applications with this information. Doing so will result in a delay or even a denial in processing your application. Mark how often you and your household members receive each type of income for each field. If a member does not receive an income, mark it 0. Mark how many total household members you have in this box right down here. So if you have 1 child up here and 2 adults, you will put in a 3. Please make sure this number matches the amount of lines that are filled. When there is a mismatch, this may cause a delay in processing your application. When we process, we count the household members based on the lines that they are filled, not based on the count listed in this box. If we notice a mismatch, we will attempt to reach out to add names onto the application or to get clarification, but this does cause a delay in application processing. List the last 4 numbers of the primary wage earner's Social Security number in this box. If there is not a Social Security number, please check this box over here. Once all adult household members are listed, we can move on to step 3B, which is list the child income. In the child income box, list the combined gross income of all children listed in step 1. Only include foster child income if you are applying for them together with the rest of your household. The most common example of child income is when there are teenagers in the household that work a job. Now we can move on to step 4. You must print and sign and date the application. Applications that are not signed will not be processed. Signing is certifying that the application is correct, and that if you give false information, your children may lose meal benefits and you may be prosecuted legally. Please fill out a phone number or an email so that if there are any issues, we can easily contact you. It isn't required, but not including it could result in delays to your application. Do not fill out this bottom section. The back of this application has examples of income, and then it also has an optional question about your children's ethnic and racial identities. I never look at this side before I am done processing the application. The next form is the request for information. It is asking if your children have health insurance. If you check no, you will receive a "Does your child need health care coverage" form from us in the mail. If you check yes, even if you fill out the address, you will not receive information in the mail. Both this form and the application that we went over can be turned in at our Welcome Center in the board office or at your student's school during registration, open house, or during the school year. Thank you for watching this video. We'll put out another video going over how to fill out the online application. There are benefits to doing the online application in that the processing times for those applications are faster than for the paper applications.